You're closer to your dream life than you've ever been taught to believe. In fact, you're not reaching for it. You're already entangled with it. Right now, in this very breath, a version of you is living the reality you've been longing for. Not someday, not after you heal every wound, fix every flaw, or finally get your act together. That version is already there, breathing, celebrating, creating, loving, on a frequency that's been humming beside you this entire time. The reason you haven't fully stepped into that life isn't because it's out of reach. It's because your current identity, the one speaking through your thoughts, moving through your body, making your choices, is still broadcasting from an older signal. A frequency rooted in survival, not sovereignty, in protection, not expansion, in memory, not possibility. The universe isn't waiting for your perfect plan, your polished resume, or your dramatic declaration of change. It's listening, constantly, intimately, to your signal. Not the words you say in meditation, not the affirmations you whisper before bed, but your vibrational essence, your embodied presence. Who are you when no one's watching? When the lights are off and the world is quiet? That's the frequency the quantum field mirrors back as your reality. Most people spend their entire lives trying to build their way to their desires. They hustle harder, visualize longer, journal more, repeat mantras like prayers into the void, hoping that repetition will somehow bridge the gap between where they are and where they long to be. But effort alone can't collapse a timeline. You can't outwork an identity that's misaligned with your dream. What's required isn't more doing, it's a radical shift in being. A recalibration so deep, it dissolves the observer who's been collapsing your reality from limitation. Here's the truth few are ready to hear. You don't need to become worthy of your dream life. Worthiness isn't something you earn, it's something you awaken to. The version of you already thriving in that reality, they're not waiting for you to be perfect. They're not scanning your life for proof that you've done the work. They're waiting for you to remember who you've always been, beneath the noise, beneath the stories, beneath the years of conditioning that told you to shrink, to wait, to settle. Your delay isn't distance, it's dissonance. You're still entangled with the self who hesitates at the edge of opportunity, who whispers, "Not yet," when your soul says now, who chooses safety over expansion because it's been trained to equate struggle with survival. As long as that version remains your witness, the one who looks out through your eyes and interprets your world, your reality will stay anchored in that frequency. But here's what changes everything. Quantum mechanics doesn't reward struggle. It mirrors consistency. It doesn't respond to your wanting, your pleading, or even your visualization. It responds to your wholeness. Not, "I need this to be happy," but "I am already complete. And this is the next natural expression of my joy." Manifestation fails when it's rooted in lack, when you're trying to use your dream life as an escape hatch from your current pain. But true alignment flows from overflow, from a place so deeply grateful for what already is that your desires feel like organic extensions of your being, not desperate attempts to fill a void. You're not failing to attract your dream life. You're withholding your presence from it. Every time you choose fear over trust, doubt over intuition, the familiar over the unknown, you're sending a signal that says, "Not yet, not me, not now." And the field honors that signal, not as punishment, but as integrity. So how do you jump? Not by imagining a new life, but by dissolving the old witness. Start by asking yourself, which version of me is currently creating this reality? What do they believe they deserve? What story do they tell about money, love, success, their own potential? What do they assume is true simply because it's always felt true? Don't judge that identity. Don't shame it. Witness it, honor it. That version of you wasn't lazy or broken. They were doing their best to keep you safe in a world that felt unpredictable, overwhelming, or unsafe. But protection becomes prison when evolution calls, and evolution is calling you now. Now ask the most sacred question of all. Am I ready to let this self dissolve? This isn't spiritual bypassing, it's conscious death, the gentle, necessary ending of a frequency that can no longer hold the truth of who you're becoming. The method is deceptively simple. First, acknowledge. Sit in stillness with the version of you you're ready to release. Let them speak. Let them be seen, not criticized, witnessed. Most timelines don't dissolve because they're fought against. They dissolve because they're outgrown with compassion. Second, release. Declare it, aloud or in silence. This is no longer my identity. I dissolve this witness. I release this frequency. You'll feel resistance rise. That's the old self fighting for survival. But remember, resistance only has power if you mistake it for truth. It's just an echo, not an authority. Third, embody. Don't pretend. Don't perform. Become. Stand like your future self stands, grounded, open, unapologetic. Breathe like they breathe, deep, calm, trusting. Decide like they decide, swiftly, clearly, without apology. And ask yourself, what does this version refuse to tolerate? Then stop tolerating it today. Not someday, today. This new self isn't a fantasy you're chasing. It's your original blueprint. The you who existed before the world told you who you should be. Before you internalized limits as truth. Before you learned to doubt your own knowing. You're not becoming someone new. You're remembering home. And after the jump comes the most misunderstood phase, stabilization. The field will test you. People may react strangely, not because you've changed your words, but because they sense the shift in your energy. Old emotions may rise, not because you're backsliding, but because your nervous system is detoxing outdated programming. Some relationships may feel unstable, not because you're pushing anyone away, but because they were calibrated to your previous version, the one you just released. Don't mistake discomfort for failure. Discomfort is the sound of old frequencies breaking down. The old timeline will whisper, nothing's changed. You're still the same. Your job isn't to argue, it's to anchor. Anchor not through affirmations, not through forced positivity, but through aligned action. When your bank account hasn't caught up, respond from abundance, not panic. When fear knocks, answer as your highest self, not your most wounded one. Every single choice you make from that new frequency retunes the field. Quantum mechanics doesn't reward effort, it mirrors consistency. Reality doesn't shift because you want it to. It shifts because you've become the one who already lives it. One day, without fanfare, you'll look around and realize the life you once dreamed of is now your ordinary. Not because you forced it into existence, but because you stopped feeding the illusion that you were ever separate from it. So ask yourself right now, what's one choice, just one, that only my future self would make? Make it. That single act is a quantum command. I'm already here. You didn't jump into a new timeline. You collapsed the illusion that you were ever outside of it. The entanglement was always active. You just forgot to listen. Now, breathe. Feel the subtle shift in your chest, your shoulders, your breath. That's not hope. That's recognition. If this resonated, if something inside you stirred, opened, remembered, it's because your higher self is knocking. Subscribe, not for my sake, but for yours. For the version of you ready to stay tuned to this frequency. And in the comments, declare your new reality, not as a wish, not as a hope, but as a truth. I am already living. Your words aren't just thoughts. They're quantum commands. The field is listening. You're already home.